everyone, and welcome back to the video slash vlog slash I don't know what this is, to be honest, because the idea was to do like weekly vlogs, but I'm not really filming enough to do like a weekly vlog. So this is a random sit down talk with me about a book that I finished and just like a general catch up, really. I mean, it technically is vlogmas, but maybe it's more bookmas than vlogmas. We'll see how this develops. I mean, I do technically have like a Christmas jumper on, so I have some Christmassy things going on. Although, talking about Christmas, it is severely lacking in like Christmas energy in my house at the moment. Like, no one's decorated, so it's a little bit depressing. I feel like I need to get like a little tree or something just to pop in my room. I used to get like one of those fake tiny little trees that you can get in like Morrison's or something. They have like lights and like baubles on it, so I feel like I'm gonna have to grab one because I really want to make it more Christmassy. I mean, I have Christmas bedding, as you can kind of see in there. Again, slightly messy, but I do have some Christmas bedding and it's kind of cute because it's like little fir trees. But I would definitely love to make it a bit more Christmassy because, if I'm being honest, I'm not feeling very Christmassy at the moment, and that makes me kind of sad because I used to love Christmas. And I mean, I still do love Christmas. I am watching all the vlogmases, like I'm watching Zoella's vlogmas, I'm watching Steph Bora's vlogmas and things like that. I love watching everyone's like vlogmas that they're doing on TikTok, and it's really cool because it's not just like the big influencers, it's so many like normal people like me. It's just like normal people that are just doing their normal jobs and then just showing a little bit of like Christmas and kind of like what they're doing to make it a bit more Christmassy, and kind of like their version of vlogmas. Because I feel like when you're watching the really big influencers, it's like, yeah, it's really cool, it's really pretty, I'm kind of jealous, but it's like, that's just not relatable. Like, amazing, you have like 10 trees, I've not even got one tree. Like, I don't know, so I'm kind of enjoying watching more of the relatable kind of people on TikTok and kind of seeing how they're celebrating vlogmas and kind of like the little things that they're doing that I can take inspiration from. Now, don't get me wrong, there are still quite a few Christmassy things that I really want to do before Christmas and kind of like after Christmas until the new year. There is a place near me where they kind of like go all out for the Christmas lights, so I kind of want to drive up there and see the Christmas lights. And there is another place which is kind of like a walk through Christmas lights, like big light show, that I really want to go to because I feel like it will look so pretty and I just think it'll be kind of fun. I also really want to go ice skating. Not too sure how or if that will happen because I will probably break a bone or something like that because I'm so accident prone, but I really want to go ice skating. I just think it'll be so funny just to go ice skating. And I still have to get some Christmas presents because I've not got any yet, and there's only 2 weekends left till Christmas and I'm really behind. Actually, I have got some people Christmas presents. I have got my friends Christmas presents. That is true. I have 2 friends who have Christmas presents so far, but no one else, so sorry. But yeah, so I really need to go Christmas shopping. That might be a priority for this weekend. I think I might go to the shopping centre and go shopping because I need to get a couple people some presents and I'm just quite behind. Actually, to be fair, it's not as if it's the last weekend of Christmas and it's not as if it is the week of Christmas. It's not like Monday and Christmas will be, is Christmas on Wednesday? I think Christmas is on Wednesday, so at least it's not like the 23rd or even the 24th. I've got time. It's only the 13th. It's only the 13th. Also, it means it's Taylor Swift's birthday, so happy birthday, Taylor Swift. As if Taylor Swift will be watching this, but a girl can hope and pray, but happy birthday, Taylor Swift. Okay, so I did actually finish my book. I managed to finish The Midnight Library. So kind of like the whole premise of The Midnight Library is that you kind of have the main character, Nora Seed, and basically her life hasn't been that great, and kind of like the place that we first meet her is not the best place for her, and she basically does die straight away at the start, and it is self-inflicted, the way that it kind of happens. And after that happens, she is transported to this place called the Midnight Library, where she meets this librarian, and she's basically open to this whole endless opportunities of different lives that she could dip into and live and try out and see whether she would feel 100% happy living these lives. Anytime she would feel like a little bit of disappointment of like living that life, she would get taken back out of it and put back in the Midnight Library, and she'd have to choose another new life. She could never go into a life that she'd already been in either, which I thought was kind of cool. But I think if this was me and this was happening to me and I was like, oh, I want to go back. Like, I want to relive that life. Yeah, so kind of like the whole idea of the story is that she is transported to the Midnight Library. She's got all these books on all these shelves, and she basically has to pick a life that she wants to try out. So she's got to try this life, see whether she likes it. If she's disappointed, again, obviously she's taken back, and then she has to try a new life. And it's kind of like this whole cycle of it where she's dipping in and out of loads of different lives and all the different possibilities that she could have lived. And all these lives kind of stem from this book of regrets that she has. So I'm sure, as you all know, we all have regrets in life, that we've all got regret, like, oh, I wish I went to this school instead, or I wish I stayed friends with this person, I wish I dated this person, I wish I went to this university, I wish I went and did this job instead, or I wish I didn't quit this job, I wish I didn't break up with this person, etc, etc. Like, we all have so many like different regrets and things like that. And with those regrets, like if we had gone forward with them, or if we had stayed on that kind of path, obviously that would have branched off and created a whole different life, wouldn't it? Like, if I didn't go to like University of York for my undergrad and I went to, I don't know, like University of Exeter, I wouldn't have met half the people that became some of my closest friends in the whole entire world. I wouldn't have had the whole university experience I had. I would have had a completely different university experience. And I probably would have changed everything else, like coming back as well. Like, I wouldn't have gone through COVID at University of York, I would have gone through COVID at University of Exeter. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know, so like stuff like that really gets me thinking, because it is, you have so many options and so many possibilities, and any one of them will change like the course of your life, or like the direction of where you're going. And if you made that one little tiny different decision, you'd be living a completely different life. And that book kind of just details that so well. And all these like regrets that she kind of got transported into life as if she had done that, and she kind of didn't have the regret. She had fulfilled that kind of choice, and she kind of experienced that life. And in the end, she was a bit like, you know what? I don't even want that life. And then she kind of wants to go back to like her root life, and she wants to live all the choices that she has made, and live kind of like with those regrets that you have, and kind of think, maybe they're not actually regrets. Maybe they just weren't the right decisions for me to make. And yeah, I think it's definitely a really interesting premise to have this idea that if you could live all the lives that you kind of turned down and possibly regretted, and just maybe see how they would have turned out, would you still want to go back to kind of like your root life and be happy with the decisions that you have made, and like the decisions you have turned down as well? But yeah, it's just a super cool book, and I really recommend everyone reading it. It's just really interesting, and it definitely gets you thinking about all of the decisions that you've made yourself, because I've definitely been thinking about all the decisions I've been making, and it's made me want to make more decisions for myself and not for other people. So yeah, I think that's a really important lesson for everyone to learn in life too. There was something about kind of like the ending of it that just made you feel so hopeful in a way, and like really excited about life, and kind of like all the possibilities, and like the endless possibilities that you have with all the choices that you can like, we have like available to you, and what you could do with your life. And whenever I read stuff like that, or I watch a video about something like that, it always just fills me with like this really positive kind of like vibe. I don't know if this makes sense to anyone else, but whenever I like see something like that, where it's like, okay, well, the world is just not like this little bubble that you're in. Like, the world is massive, and you've got so many different options, so many different possibilities, so many different lives that you can try on and like try out and see which ones work for you, which ones suit you, which ones you're like, you know what, that life's not for me, I'm gonna give this one a go. And whenever I see something like that, it reminds me that this little problem that I'm facing is really only like a little problem, and the world is so much bigger, and there's so many other endless opportunities and more amazing things just around the corner if you just give it time and you kind of wait something out, and you're like, wait, okay, I know this is pretty bad during like this little thing that's happening right now, but just give it a little bit of time, and this amazing thing is just right around the corner. It's just waiting, it's just gonna come, and once it comes around, you're like, oh my god, what was I worrying about that thing for? Like, that doesn't even enter my mind anymore. Like, I don't know, whenever I watch stuff like that or read something like that, that kind of just reminds you the little things, they don't matter. I could literally spend hours just talking about all these like possibilities of different lives that you could live, and how you live in parallel with like different universes that are kind of like running alongside each other. Like, this is me now, it's my root life, but then this is also me that decided to do something else. Do you know what I mean? And I just think it's really cool and really interesting to like think about. but it also makes your brain hurt a little bit because you're like, oh my god, there's so much to think. But yeah, so I have just finished reading that book, and I started a new book. I have started, what's that? The Night Circus. And how far into am I? I'm only 46 pages into it. And it is a very, very big book. It is a chunky little book. I think it's like 500 pages or something. Yeah, it's like 500 and something. So I'm only a few chapters into it, and I'm a little bit confused. So I think like the idea is that there's these two characters who have special magical abilities. It is a fantasy book. I mean, I've seen it on fantasy, like book talk and things like that. It is a fantasy book, but there's these two characters who can have like magical abilities, and they have basically been tasked with a challenge. And I don't know necessarily what the challenge is. I'm under the impression that maybe they kind of have to fight each other or something like that, or go up against one another. When it comes to it, they've not really revealed much in it. I mean, it is only like 40 pages into the story, so I've still got a lot to get through. But I am interested in it, and it seems kind of cool. And it's also set during like the 1800s, which I thought was really, really interesting. I don't know if it changes time at any other point, like if we move to the current day or something like that, or if it does just say kind of in the 19th century or something like that. But I kind of like that, because every fantasy book that I've read, it's not like they're set in like current day, but they're not dated usually, or they're dated in their own like fantasy kind of world and things like that. So it's kind of cool for it to be dated in kind of like a year that you would recognize, and also have the setting of like London, Paris and things like that. So I think it's really interesting. It kind of reminds me of the Mortal Instruments, but not the actual Mortal Instruments. I'm trying to find the book because I have it somewhere, but I can't remember what it was called. The Clockwork Angel series, is that one? Yeah, so the Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince and Clockwork Princess. So it kind of reminds me a little bit of that kind of story, because that's dated but set in like a different time period and things like that, but it's got obviously like the magic and things going on. So that's kind of a little bit of a vibe that I'm getting from it, so it's kind of interesting. But I will keep you updated with my thoughts on the story. I have heard good things about it, and I'm sure I will really enjoy it, and hopefully I can like get through this over the next week and finish it, because I really do want to read a Christmas book, but I don't think I want to read like a contemporary Christmas book. I could reread the Akata novella, because it is technically a Christmas novella. I mean, it's a winter novella, but it's Christmas, right? I'm going to say it's a Christmas one, so I could reread that because it's a really short book, and that could be kind of very, very Christmassy. But if you do know any like Christmassy fantasy books, please pop them down below, because I'll definitely be interested in trying them out and giving them a little bit of a read, because I'm not the biggest fan of contemporary books, if I'm being honest. And I know there's a lot of contemporary Christmas books. Maybe I'll dive into one, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of them. But yeah, if you know any fantasy Christmas books, then definitely pop them down below. I'm not really sure what I'm doing this evening, because we were thinking of going to the cinema to watch Wicked, but I kind of might go and watch that alone, or we'll stay in and watch the red one. It's got Chris Evans in it, and I love Chris Evans. I gotta love Chris Evans. So we might watch that, because it's kind of like a Christmassy film, I think. It was marketed as a semi-Christmassy kind of film or something. Or maybe go for a drive and check out the Christmas lights, because there is a place around here that does all the Christmas lights, and I would love to go see that, as I think that will put me in a very like Christmassy mood. As I kind of mentioned at the start of this video, I need to feel more Christmassy, and it feels like it is lacking in Christmas spirit and Christmas energy, so I desperately want to feel more Christmassy. But I did do a couple Christmassy things at the weekend just gone, as part of like the weekly vlog thing when I was doing the weekly vlogs. Now I don't know if the weekly vlogs are still happening or anything like that. I don't know what's going on. I don't do enough to film, really. So you just get me rambling on about books. So I might pop some of those videos in now for you guys to see what I got up to last weekend. I think it was last Sunday. We went to the Christmas markets in my town. And they were very cute. They're very Christmassy, because I think they couldn't really do them the weekend before because we had the storm, so they kind of closed it, I think. So I might go and see maybe more Christmas markets this weekend. Oh, I could go to the Christmas markets tonight, actually, because they close at 8. That's a possibility, you know. It's a possibility. And then maybe go see Christmas lights. stay tuned. I might be going to the Christmas markets. I just need to persuade my boyfriend to go to the Christmas markets, but we might be going to the Christmas markets, so I hope you enjoy. But yeah, that is all I have when it comes to book updates so far. I finished this 4 out of 5, started this a little bit confused, but I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic. It seems promising. I really like the front cover. It's actually quite cute, it's really pretty. And I love reading fantasy books, so I'm definitely very interested to kind of find out how it develops and see what happens. If you guys have read Night Circus, let me know your thoughts on it, if it's like really good. I don't know if it's a series. As far as I'm aware, I think it's the only book. I think it's like a standalone. I don't think it's a series. If it is a series, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm starting a series and I've not got the whole thing, which will be very, very depressing. But yeah, if it's not a series, then that's fine. But anyways, that's what I'm reading. If you have read it, let me know what your thoughts were on the book. But yeah, that will be goodbye for now. And I'll pop in some of the clips that I did film at the weekend so you can see kind of what I got up to. But yeah, thank you for watching, and maybe I will see you later if I have any exciting Friday night plans. Bye! Since when do they do a Christmas menu at Spoons? Like, what is this? This is crazy.
What are you doing? It's quite good. But how do you know what genre each one? The other side is happy. Doobie-doobie.
That's all right. No, I think it's just about right, yeah.